The history between 50 Cent and his late mother, Sabrina Jackson, has remained a sensitive and deeply rooted topic in hip-hop culture for decades. That conversation has now resurfaced after King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny, posted a video telling 50 Cent to dig up his deceased mother and share a photo of her grave, a statement that immediately sent social media into a frenzy. To understand why King Harris would make such a shocking remark, you have to trace the situation back to where the tension truly began. The issue reportedly stems from the long-rumored versus battle between T.I. and 50 Cent. T.I. recently revealed that he lost respect for 50 Cent over how that situation unfolded. Speaking in a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game, shared by co-host Jilly the Kid, T.I. explained that the battle wasn't random or forced. According to him, it had already been discussed and agreed upon while they were in Los Angeles performing shows together. Versus, the platform where major artists went head-to-head playing their biggest hits, became a cultural phenomenon during the pandemic, and fans were eager to see the two rap heavyweights face off. However, something clearly went left behind the scenes, and that fallout appears to be what ultimately fueled the tension now spilling over into the next generation. This was in a situation where T.I. randomly called out 50 Cent and caught him off guard. According to Tip, the versus battle had already been discussed privately. He said they had worked together before, performed shows together in Los Angeles, and even talked about the matchup years earlier. The Atlanta rapper explained that there was an understanding between them. He would publicly bring up the idea first, and then 50 would respond. But when T.I. mentioned it publicly, he claims 50 acted confused, as if he had no clue what was being discussed. Imagine making a private agreement with someone, only for them to act brand new once it's out in the open. T.I. says that's exactly what happened, and that's why he felt played. After the rumored versus battle never materialized, T.I. didn't hold back. He made it clear he was done. "I don't want to stand on stage with him. I don't respect him," Tip said, and those aren't light words coming from him. When T.I. says he's lost respect, he stands on it. He even went further in the comment section, accusing 50 of playing with his name and hinting at paperwork, saying only one of them had real rat allegations attached. In hip-hop culture, calling someone a rat is one of the most serious accusations you can make, and T.I. put it out there publicly, in writing that that's when the tension really started to escalate. What began as T.I. accusing 50 of ducking a versus battle quickly turned into a war of words. Instead of locking in the battle, 50 took to social media with jokes, memes, and trolling, never fully stepping into the ring. And in many ways, that response felt very on brand for 50 Cent. If you followed 50 Cent at any point in his career, then you already know he doesn't handle beef the traditional way. He doesn't immediately drop a diss track or jump on live yelling. Instead, he trolls. He posts memes, cracks jokes, and slowly turns his opponent into the punchline. And that's exactly what he did to T.I. But one particular post shifted everything. The tension reignited when 50 shared a photo of T.I.'s wife, Tamika "Tiny" Harris, along with a caption warning T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. The image instantly grabbed attention online. And that single post is what pushed the situation into a completely different lane. What had been a typical rap back and forth suddenly became personal. Because once someone's wife, someone's mother, gets brought into it, it's no longer just industry drama. It becomes family business. That's when King Harris stepped in that there's an unspoken rule in verbal wars between men. You don't drag romantic partners into it. But 50 did, and the reaction was immediate. On Sunday, February 22nd, King took to Instagram stories with an explicit, emotionally charged rant after the 50-year-old mogul posted what many considered an unflattering photo of his mother amid the escalating feud. And King isn't just some random outsider inserting himself for clout. He's the eldest child of T.I. and Tiny, growing up in the public eye alongside his siblings, Major and Heiress. As their firstborn together, he's been visible since childhood, appearing on the family's reality television shows and building his own presence in entertainment. So when he spoke up, it wasn't from the sidelines, it was from a son defending his mother. King Harris has been building his own name in music, but he has also made it clear many times that he will not tolerate disrespect toward his family. So when 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris with a caption telling T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth, King responded immediately. He first jumped into the comment section, signaling that he was ready for war and even bringing up 50's mother, which marked the first major escalation. But he didn't stop there. King then went to Instagram stories and recorded a lengthy, emotional rant after 50 trolled his mother online. In the video, filmed from what appeared to be inside a car, he referenced 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983, and urged a candy shop rapper to post a photo of his own mother instead of targeting Tiny. King repeatedly told 50 to leave his mother out of the back and forth and question how he and others were raised, saying he doesn't come from a place where someone's mother is disrespected. The rant was intense and unfiltered, and the moment that truly shocked the internet was when King told 50 multiple times to dig up his mother's grave and post a picture of her. That statement pushed the situation beyond typical rap beef and into deeply personal territory, sparking immediate and widespread reaction online. King didn't slow down after the first rant. He told 50 Cent to go put flowers on his mother's grave and reminded everyone that Tiny is a legend, referencing her career with Xscape and her Grammy success. But then things escalated even further. King took to Instagram stories and posted a photo of a headstone, writing captions aimed directly at 50. He shared an image showing the name Sabrina Jackson, 50's late mother, along with explicit insults and repeated statements telling him to dig up his mother. This wasn't just talk anymore. It was an image of a real grave site, the name of a real woman who passed away, posted for millions to see it on his account. King also shared what appeared to be a gravesite featuring both 50's mother and grandmother's names, along with old court footage of 50 in a legal case where he faced accusations related to an alleged concert incident, and even posted a photo of one of 50's sons sitting on his lap. At that point, it was clear he wasn't just responding emotionally, he was going all the way in. For many people watching online, this was a moment it crossed a line. Yes, 50 initially sparked the situation by trolling and posting an unflattering picture of Tiny. But the debate quickly shifted to whether King had gone too far. There's a clear difference between clowning someone who is alive and bringing up and visually posting the grave of someone's deceased mother. That distinction is what made the situation feel heavier and far more personal than a typical rap beef. And to fully understand why King's words hit as hard as they did, you have to understand who Sabrina Jackson was and what her loss meant in 50 Cent's life story. This situation isn't just about mentioning someone's deceased parent for shock value. It connects to a very real and painful chapter in 50 Cent's life. Born Curtis Jackson on July 6, 1975, he entered the world under extremely difficult circumstances. His mother, Sabrina Jackson, was just 15 years old when she had him, raising him alone in South Jamaica, Queens, during the height of the crack era. It was a harsh environment, and survival often meant making impossible choices. Sabrina, determined to provide for her son without relying on welfare or minimum wage jobs, turned to the streets. According to interviews 50 later gave, including one with Spin, she refused to see public assistance or fast food work as viable options. Instead, she did what she believed was necessary to take care of her child. She reportedly became involved in drug dealing on Old South Road in South Jamaica and built a reputation in that world. At a time when few women held prominent roles in that trade, Sabrina was known and, by many accounts, respected and feared. In an interview with The Guardian, 50 Cent reflected on how his earliest images of wealth came from the people connected to his mother's life: the Cadillacs, the jewelry, the visible symbols of financial power. For a young boy growing up without a father figure, that environment became his first exposure to what success looked like. The lifestyle he witnessed through Sabrina's world shaped his early understanding of money, status, and survival. And that background is what makes any reference to his mother especially sensitive, because her story is deeply tied to the foundation of who he became. Hat's vision of success came with a harsh reality. Sabrina Jackson wasn't just a woman who showed 50 Cent the first glimpse of wealth. She was both his mother and father, the person who nurtured him while also demanding toughness. She was my mom and my dad, and she was tough, so I didn't know when it was okay to be emotional and when it wasn't, 50 told Page 6. She disciplined him, taught him to stop crying, and shaped the man he would become. Then in 1983, everything changed. Sabrina Jackson died under tragic and suspicious circumstances. Authorities suspect she was drugged and left unconscious in her apartment before someone turned on the gas. It was not an accident, and she did not die of natural causes. Someone put something in her drink and turned the gas on, 50 said, reflecting on the traumatic event. After that, every time something went wrong, I'd think, if my mother was here, it wouldn't be like that. Despite the clear suspicion of foul play, no arrests were ever made, and her killer remains unknown to this day. 50 Cent was only 8 years old when his mother was murdered, and the loss left a lasting impact that shaped his life and career. He has built a public persona around toughness, being unbothered, and trolling without showing emotion, but when it comes to his mother, that facade cracks completely. I think shock is the best way to describe how I felt when my mother died, he told The Big Issue. Her death is a wound that has never fully healed, and it explains why any reference to Sabrina Jackson strikes such a deep chord in 50 Cent's life. Having a single parent means that person is your entire world, and when they are gone, everything changes. For 50 Cent, losing his mother Sabrina Jackson at just 8 years old was devastating. With two parents, losing one is hard, but with only one, that parent is your provider, protector, teacher, friend, and disciplinarian all in one. When she died, he felt like he had nothing. At first, he was in denial. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, 50 explained how he couldn't grasp what his grandmother meant when she said, "She's not coming back." He would tell himself his mother was still with him, and whenever anyone reminded him she was gone forever, it didn't register. He was just a child in shock, unable to process such a permanent loss. 50 has admitted in interviews, including with Larry King, that he never properly dealt with his mother's death. He didn't go to therapy or talk about his feelings. Instead, he turned to the streets. After her passing, he moved in with his grandparents, but the void left by Sabrina's murder changed the trajectory of his life. By age 12, he was already selling drugs, carrying guns, and living the street life, essentially following the path his mother had taken. That early loss and lack of guidance set him on a dangerous course, shaping the tough, self-reliant persona he would later project to the world. After Sabrina's death, Beulah Jackson, 50 Cent's grandmother, stepped in to raise him. In the VH1 documentary 50 Cent, The Origin of Me, he revealed that Beulah legally adopted him as a boy and treated him like her own son, earning his lifelong gratitude. But even under his grandmother's care, life wasn't easy. 50 recalled, "I came to live in my grandmother's house. When some of my mother's 8 siblings were still there, my Aunt Sylvie, she hated me being there. She had been the baby. Then suddenly it was me. My grandmother would look at me and there would be a little moment when she wouldn't say anything. Then she'd say, 'Come on here, baby.'" Even in what was supposed to be a safe place, tension and resentment lingered. The only person who made him feel truly wanted was his grandmother. That's why any mention of 50's mother is so much more than just a name. It evokes his entire childhood, the murder that shaped him, and the single worst tragedy he has ever faced. He has openly said that he still carries that pain. His experiences inspired elements of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, which is loosely based on his upbringing. Reflecting on his childhood, 50 explained, "There's a point where things I was afraid of, I got bumped around a lot in the park. But I was more afraid of my mom than the people I got bumped around by because I could not escape her. Being a single mom at that point, she was everything. She was everything." For 50 Cent, Sabrina wasn't just a parent. She was the center of his world.